Hey, Fran fam. Welcome to Life and Style with Francyne. I am your host, Francyne Walker. I'm excited about my guest today, all the way from Toronto. Um, Go ahead, T-Town. My guest is Suzanne Coy. She is the executive producer of Mission Bonita. She's going to talk a little bit about the project and how it's so timely for the space we're in now. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Zan to the show. Hey, Zan.
Hey, Francyne. Woo!
How you doing, beautiful?
Hey, I am divine.
Yes, yes, you are. Yes, you are. We had a conversation in the virtual green room, and really, it was just very interesting concepts we were talking about, and really how Mission Bonita is very timely in this space. Talk about why. We'll talk about the project first. What is Mission Bonita?
All right.
And let's go there first.
Okay. Well, Mission Bonita is a web series that I'm one of the executive producers it comes from Lisa Lallouz, who is a master's in social work. Her book series called Miss Bonita and Friends.
Okay.
So this is the web series off of that. And really, it's all about helping kids solve problems, giving them tools and techniques. The 17-year-old main character, Miss Bonita, she doesn't have the answers, but she has a magical box and she accepts problems from children all over the world. And she invites the audience at home, those kids, to be part of the adventure of finding tools and techniques to help this child solve their problem. And she refers to her magical friends like Mimi the Mystique, who is like an eternal being, kind of represents, the wisdom from Mother Africa. That's a character I play. And then there's some other characters. The author is in the show. And then there's like the evil king, and he's like, he burps and farts and, picks his nose. And he loves it if you can't solve your problem. And he loves it if you're in misery. And he at one point puts, a spell of fear on everyone. And so they have to deal with how to get out of that. So every episode is about solving a problem and learning. Really the thing about the project Mission Bonita is in these times with the shadow of fear looming to capture our creative imaginations now more than ever. I mean, it is time to decide where we place our divine attention and how we therefore shape the reality that we want to claim. And in such tumultuous times with so many kids more than ever glued to the screen, I mean, I am just very proud to be part of a brand that offers parents a wonderful option in the vast sea of streams. And Mission Bonita provides creative solutions to problem solving while thoroughly entertaining young audiences, with extraordinary characters that seamlessly move between fantasy worlds and our everyday reality. It's kind of like the magical school bus of emotional intelligence for kids. And we're dealing with heavy topics. We're dealing with my dad's in jail. My grandpa is the first episode. My grandpa has a virus and we can't see him. And we're dealing with those topics and finding creative ways, to solve them, and giving kids, there's always a choice. Are you going to go hang with the evil king and stay in your despair and stay on Grumpy Butt Radio? Or are you going to go where it's nice and bright with Miss Bonita and find creative ways, to change your attitude and know that you make a difference? Just what you think, no matter what's going on, you can make a change.
I don't know how it is in Toronto, but right now our children are, I do know that we are in a crisis right now, just as it relates to sending our children back into an environment that, first of all, we're looking at a toll of 150,000 deaths in the United States. I think it's like 600,000 overall, and we're a quarter of that or something like that. So 125,000. I don't know, but it's enough. It's more than enough for to put us at pause as it relates to moving back out into the world without the reassurance of safety. So we've got in the midst of this discussion and decision making, where it's like, let's send them back to school. If and different lawmakers and decision makers, if they're at risk, they're just at risk. And if some die, some die. I mean, it's literally that kind of conversation. So you hear kids, first of all, they have been cooped up for 4 months.
And let's talk about that too, because you know what? Social distancing, I don't know, it's almost worse than the virus in some ways, because we've had an increase in mental health issues. We've got children from 10 committing suicide. We have an increase in child molestation. We have an increase in domestic violence. And, and this generation, they're on the screen since 3 and now more than ever. So this is why things like Miss Bonita is kind of like a new, how Mr. Rogers was a new era of TV, because he used the medium for education and empowerment and just holding the space. Holding the space so kids could see where their power comes from, where their ability to change, their ability to change, and how that can change their little universe. Just with attitude change, when how to deal with bullying, how to deal with depression, how to deal with, right in our 4 episodes, everything's canceled. What do you do? And don't go down. You can go down the rabbit hole, but you could also get creative, or what to do when fear overcomes you. And my character has always some kind of solution. Like in that case, let's just everybody laugh for no reason. That's going to break the spell of fear.
So you're the protagonist in the series, correct?
I'm kind of like Yoda, I'm kind of like the Yoda character who's a mentor that gives strategies and options. They're always wacky and weird, but they're actually real. A lot of them are based on real energy medicine techniques, because I'm an energy medicine practitioner, and I love the fact that you can change your energy in 1 minute.
I know when you first logged on, and your energy was such, which is always good. You never know when especially you never know what you're going to encounter in that first 8 minutes or so during the green room experience, that I like to call it, the virtual green room. Your energy is such where it's like, hey, we just clicked, and then your smile, it in your space, it just speaks to harmony and peace, and really, excuse me, things that we definitely need to have in our environment, especially if we are sheltering in place, more so, maybe not as much, maybe we should, that's neither here nor there, that's everybody's personal experience and decision. But your space speaks to the need to have a shelter, a safe shelter for our spirit. And we've got these babies that, again, they can't connect with their friends. They can't connect with the activities that they were once doing when they were in school because of social distancing. How does the series address that? If you know what I mean, how does that?
It totally addresses that, because those are some of the issues right in our first 4 episodes. What do you do when everything's canceled? What do you do when you can't visit your grandpa because there's a virus and everyone's scared? And what do you do? And you come to learn tools and techniques that empower you to make a shift. And when you know, when you can change, and it ends up being a change of consciousness, right?
Sure.
If I can change my attitude, I've just changed my whole world. If I can uh, jump into experiencing my creativity and my divine imagination. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I remember with all my nieces and nephews, and I got so many godchildren,
Yeah.
you know, that I always, how kids, don't want to go to bed. I'm like,
No.
wait a second, guys, with your creative imagination, let's see where we're going to go in our dream. Are we going to go into an underwater world where
Yeah.
we can breathe underwater and swim with dolphins and go, to the Aquaman place? And so your whole dream world is like a free vacation.
Sure.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You
Yeah.
just have to activate it. And that same creative imagination, the safe place, you're looking for safety. You don't have to look any farther than within yourself, because every one of us can close our eyes and yep, there you're going to see the big 180-degree screen of the activity of the mind and everything that goes on with that and how we can let ourselves get pushed around by all of those things. But
Yeah.
you can turn your back to that, walk down 2 steps and enter the Holy of Holies. And you create your own inner temple that's
Yeah.
just for you and creator. And you go there and you can, go on adventures within yourself. And that's the good TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're in your world,
That's more effective probably than just sitting, no judgment,
Yeah.
sitting your baby in front of something that is not going to enable that kind of experience that you speak of.
So-
Because go ahead.
Well, some of the things, there's always going to be solutions. When everything's canceled, maybe you're going to take up something creative. You're going to learn to paint. You're going to learn something.
Yeah.
If you're going to go on the internet, you're going to do something that's adventuresome and fun. But you're learning.
Yeah.
Whether it's glass blowing or painting or
Yeah.
doing a vision board. You're going to learn to journal.
Yeah.
You're going to learn how to. When I did the live show once, and it's interesting. So we have this nothing book, which is like your special book where you can put your dreams and wishes and you have an invisible pen, so it's like private. And everyone wants Maymay the Mystique to sign their book, So I'm going around after the show and saying, and how do you wish to be a co-worker with a creator? How do you want to share? And they're saying, well, I want to be a ballerina and I want to be a basketball player. That was the main thing. I want to be a dancer and I want to be a singer. And then one little girl comes up to me and my character's going, oh, you can do that. One girl comes up to me and she says, anger. I'm like, okay, everyone is picking be a superstar. And this girl comes up, she can have anything she wants from the fairy godmother of Maymay. And she says, anger. And I get curious. I listen and she says, I want to learn how to let go of anger because me and my sister, we fight a lot. And I'm like, oh my God, you 8-year-old, that you want to do that kind of spiritual work. You're here to do that work. So I showed her a technique,
Yeah.
It's called expelling the venom,
Well, how do you do that?
You breathe in, rub your hands together, put them on your thighs, feel yourself growing roots of light down through your feet and anchor to the earth. And then breathe in and take your fists up in the air like this. And then breathe out and go shh. And the sound SH, that is a sound for liver and gallbladder, and anger is when they get out of balance. And then I ended up showing her, a technique where you just sing a sound, HU, hue, and you fill your heart with love, and you imagine a rain of love coming from the creator. And when you're all full, You can stop singing the sound. And she just like lit up.
Yeah.
Well, she just
That I'm yeah, because it's like I have minor anxiety, and where I feel like my breath, this is how it feels to me, where my breath disconnects, where it's like I got to catch my breath. It's like, I have to reconnect the breath.
I got one for you right now. You take your hand, put it over your diaphragm area, right up here.
Yep.
And the other hand over that hand. And now you're going to breathe in and squeeze your elbows to your body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze everything. Hold your breath. Hold your breath that you just breathe in. Hold it long as you can. And then when you can't hold it anymore, breathe out. Now see if that just dropped your breath down to your belly. Did that change your breath? Because the diaphragm is connected with shock. Think about when you have a shock, you go,
yes.
So you can release the shock. We also lock shock in the bottom of our feet and our heel, and you can release the shock points in the body. You can release trauma, because trauma can just burn itself into our cells, and it's like magnetic, and it's a memory, and then we can attract those same kind of traumatic situations because it's magnetic. We're holding to it and we don't even know.
Wow.
How to let go.
So powerful, Zan. That
Hey, you anytime, I'm gonna give you a Zoom energy medicine treatment.
That nugget right there, that nugget is more valuable than the priceless jewel somewhere in Sotheby's or somewhere. That nugget.
And you do that about 3 times and you'll feel.
You know how many people are walking around with childhood trauma? We want to talk about getting the, you're doing the important work of helping children through this traumatizing state.
Yes.
And period, unprecedented. But there's so many adults.
Yeah.
That didn't have Mission Bonita.
And so how do they let go of trauma?
Well, here they are.
Okay.
Adults holding on to childhood trauma and magnets from that. So they're still drawing.
Of course, because it's magnetic. It's like it freezes us in time. It freezes us in time. When
make me run out this house and run around.
and yeah, so you're locked in the moment of that trauma, and then that trauma burns itself onto our emotional skin, and then that's magnetic. It will attract that same thing. So we need to release the trauma.
Yeah.
We need to release the trauma. So we can actually do that very, very easily. There's so many ways to do that. And you can do that, with your imagination. You can, and how do you really do that?
How do you do that?
Okay. All right. There's lots of ways to do it. Okay.
Yeah. Give us one nugget. Give us another nugget. Cause it's just
okay. I'll give you another nugget.
For the replay, people are going to really need to hear this. And this is good. This is all part of us being able to, as adults, shepherd our children from a healed space.
Yes.
Right? So if our trauma is unaddressed.
Yep. And now this is how I think of trauma, is because one young person who I mentor, and she's going to therapy dealing with trauma.
Yeah.
And so she's having this breakthrough because she realized, okay, so she's identified her core belief.
Yeah.
My core belief, I'm not safe and I'm not good enough. But now she's having an epiphany. Oh, that's not me. That's just a program, just like you buy software and it's running the show. But here's the thing, and this is what I love about who we really are as soul. Soul is like the clown. We have the right to enter any perception and not be imprisoned by anyone, because there's always a bigger truth. So the way I see trauma is like a big blockbuster store. It's full of all these videos, these really bad reality shows starring you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good enough. There's a show, and it's not real. It's just a video. But once I take my divine attention, which is the true commodity, which is the one thing that's my business, where is my divine attention? That's what creates reality. That's how we're like creator. And when I take my divine attention and put it on that video, now I've just entered that world.
Sure.
And now it's all real. And now I got those rose-colored glasses, and I'm attracting experiences that make me feel wrong or make me feel not good enough. You know what I'm saying? So we can't even blame. We can't even be a victim. We can't even say, do you know what I'm saying? Because we, you know what I mean? It's like the girl.
I do.
The girl who is attracting, oh no, that's her. He's from a different culture. He's from a different age, but that's her third alcoholic relationship. You know, then you have to say, well, where's the jerk magnet in your aura that you need to just get rid of so you don't attract that? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because it's a mirror universe. So how do you not pick up that video and play it? Well, here's where's that? How do we not do that? We take control of our divine attention. What am I looking at? Am I looking at, because, okay, one of my favorite authors, Harold Klemp, he says, every thought, word, and deed pollutes or purifies the body. Be aware of what you're letting in, because that has to go out, that it comes back in, and it's like a boomerang.
Yeah.
And if you're letting in too much news, too much even drama TV before you go to bed, that's going to put a ceiling on where you can go with your dreams. You know what I mean? And that drama is going to then come out and find an expression out in your life. But if you get into this thing of, okay, I'm going to only let love in and only let love out, this era, I'm so excited because I don't have to be a part of the fear virus. I can say, hey, this is my time to anchor a new golden age of creativity. Sure. And when they say go home, stay home, that means go home to creator and stay there, which is stay in the consciousness of unity, stay in connection, stay in gratitude for every moment of the day. I am being taught in this classroom of earth how to give and receive divine love. How to do everything like my grandmother would say, you know, things done by halves are never done for the Lord, because we just wanted to get the dishes done fast. You know what I mean? Sure. And that's a principle, you know, practicing the presence that way. Yeah. But
when will the web series air, and is it accessible?
Yes, for everybody. August 15th. Go to www.missbonitaandfriends.com and you can see the first episodes.
Okay. Yeah. And you guys have 4 episodes in the can?
We have 4 in the can.
Okay. And so with the 4, will they air weekly?
We might air them all at once or weekly, but episode 1 is coming out August 15th for sure, and the other episodes will just follow pretty quickly, probably within the week.
Do you plan to resume?
Yes, because we did COVID shooting and
resume production at some point.
Yes, and there's lots of iterations with this brand. I mean, we've got a Broadway musical, we've got like a Greatest Showman kind of film, you know, we have got a TV series to do. There's more books coming out. You know, there's you know, wonderful fun merchandising is coming out, you know. So yeah, and the books, there's books here right now too. you
Were
know.
was the web series the first iteration? Was
No,
that the initial
no,
plan? No.
the first iteration was Miss Bonita and Friends.
Okay, that's right. Okay.
That is a series of books, and actually, we're just hiring an incredible um, psychologist, who's going to be creating a guidebook for community leaders and teachers
That's
to
good.
based on issues brought up in the book, how to really go deeply into therapeutic and creative activities that really bring home the lessons being brought up in
Yeah.
the book. It's amazing to do it in such a fun way.
It sounds like a very fulfilling project that
Yeah.
can have a reach, such an expansive reach, with a very positive, amazing, it's impact for just ages. I almost want to say it's not just for children, it's really for the children inside of us all.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that, because there is a wonderful First Nation shaman, and he invited us to do a show.
Yeah.
And Lisa didn't want to tell everybody. He goes, well, it's for adults. I mean, we're used to doing this for 6 to 10-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to come. She thought nobody's going to come if I tell them. And it's a participatory thing, because in the show, you break up into groups and you help figure out strategies for this person's problem, how to fix this person's problem. And the show ended up being, and it always starts with Miss Bonita reading a letter from somebody who has a problem, right?
Yeah.
And so the problem had to do with loss. And it started out funny because it's animated. It's for kids, right?
Yeah.
But 10 minutes into it, these guys got so involved. They got so into participation, and they were bawling because they had 4 deaths in their community. And it ended up being this incredible healing thing. And all the actors in the show, they couldn't believe how it worked.
Sure.
And so it's
that's great. Before we close the show, I want to emphasize you have a special connection. You're in Toronto. Yes. I'm just outside of Detroit, across the water. It's been a minute since I've been in Toronto. I drove there one year for a love, and it was a vacation. But talk a little bit about your connection to Detroit, and how this applies to where we are right now as a nation, and the unrest, and talk a little bit about that.
Well, yes, I'm living in Toronto, but just for full disclosure, Bonayad in Jamaica, come from country Clarendon. With all of that goes back to Africa, as you know.
Yeah.
Right? And I want to say a hail out to my Uncle Zeb in DC, who worked with Bob Marley for years.
Yeah.
Anyway, my connection to Detroit is so special because one of my favorite people on the planet is Dr. Oma Wally Satterwhite, who literally created a Black city from civic engagement way back when, and that is the city of East Palo Alto. And his organization was called Community Development Institute, the National Community Development Institute. And his whole passion was creating solutions for communities that were struck with racism and poverty, how to build capacity. Yeah. And he had this 10-year model, and it always started with community visioning. He never came in as an expert. He gathered the community, and he went to Detroit, and the Skillman Foundation, they were onto what he was up to. They said, you know what, we're going to give you 60% of our complete budget, and he engaged the police, the youth, the church, the university, all stakeholders, the elder, and he gathered them and he asked the community, what is your vision? And they had to overcome difference and join together, and he just has a way of creating accountability and deep listening and authenticity, and just bringing out the shared wisdom. And he went to 6 neighborhoods in Detroit that had the worst stats, the most murder, the most teenage pregnancy, the most drug abuse, the most, and they went into this plan. And they, and this is the thing, when you come together in such a authentic way, and the money just comes, and it's just a testament. So I'm telling you, I'm going to give you his private number, and you could come bring him on your show.
Yeah, I would love to.
I did a short little documentary on him because he is an unsung hero. And I remember him profoundly saying stuff like, well, in the 60s, we had one personality and thousands of people gathered, and now we've got thousands of people doing a little bit here and there. And he would do incredible things. Like he was a PhD from Stanford, and he would gather kids who were feeling victimized for, being from the ghetto, whatever.
Yeah.
By the time they finished 5 days with him, they were the mayor, they were the sanitation department, and they knew how to make change from a civic point of view. And they came out leaders and contributors, and it's just incredible what he did. I always wanted to be part. And in fact, I studied as a community consultant with his program. That's one of the things he did. And he was this person who would, I don't know, but what his salary was, 200,000, whatever. He would just take a small salary of like 40,000. He would stay living in the ghetto. If you had an idea, he would fund you. You were going to do something that made a change in the neighborhood. He would be there to guide you, And so he's just one of those people, and he's so humble. He's so humble.
Yeah.
He's so humble. Yeah.
Okay, so the show comes out. That's amazing.
August 15th.
The change we need is, thank God, is still imminent, and we have access to it by way of the techniques you talked about, as well as the show, which airs when again?
August 15th.
August 15th. And we can
www.missbonitaandfriends.com.
Access
it through YouTube.
So it's not just while it's based out of Toronto, it's not closed off. We can see it as well, correct?
Oh, it's global. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. It's
the world needs it.
Wherever there's children.
Yeah. Wherever there's children.
People try to pin down Lisa, the author. Well, what's your religion? Well, what's your politics? Children.
Yeah.
Wherever there's children. That's what we're about.
Thank you so much, Zan. It has been a pleasure. Certainly so many unexpected gems that I could take away, which is always a great thing. I love this when I can just meet so many different people from different walks of life, doing their thing and just making the world a better place. And I'm sure that you, Mission Bonita, and all the iterations and everything that will come from it will certainly change the world. I appreciate you for joining the show.
Yeah. Well, we'll see you. We'll see you. We'll see you online. You'll be there.
Yes.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching another episode of Life and Style with Francyne. You can catch me on YouTube at Francyne Walker. You can also go to my Instagram, Francyne Walker TV, or my Facebook, Life and Style with Francyne page, personal Facebook page. You can join and follow me there. The name of the web series is Mission Bonita, and you can find it at www.missbonita.com. It airs August 15th. It is globally, will globally air, and you can access it there. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Mwah.